Good afternoon. I'm Donald Harris. I'd like to welcome you to my persuasive speech for CMST 109, Public Speaking, with Professor Lettner. If you could for a second imagine with me, you're heading home, you're driving, just got out of work. Text comes through your phone from your husband and wife. You're really excited to hear from them, so you answer your text. The next thing you remember, you're being transported in an ambulance. Just as you're coming to, the EMT tells you that you were in an accident caused by your distracted driving. Distracted driving is the process or the practice of operating a motor vehicle while engaged in another activity. Normally, this activity involves an electronic device or a cell phone of some type. Of the $80 billion in property damage caused yearly in the United States, about 21 billion is attributed to distracted driving. In the last 10 years, 9.5% of all fatal accidents involved distracted driving. That accounted for about 20,000 deaths per year. Of all the activities associated with distracted driving, texting and driving is the most dangerous. That is because the driver takes his or her eyes off of the road while texting or reading a text. According to textinganddravingsafety.com, the average amount of time that a driver takes their eyes off of the road while receiving, reading, and sending a text is 5 seconds. That's the minimum. At 55 miles an hour, 5 seconds can travel you just about as long as a football field. That's 80.7 feet per second. That gives a driver very little room for error. Now, a person is 23 times more likely to be in an auto accident when delivering or sending or receiving a text message. In 2011, 23% of all fatal crashes involved a text message. That attributed to about 1.3 million deaths. Today, that's about 1.6 million. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, in 2017, 3,166 people died just that year. The trend has continued for the last 3 to 5 years in a pretty consistent rate. This wasn't really a problem about 25 years ago. Text messaging really became a high issue above safety belts and above drunk driving in about 2008. As of 2008, many of the states put in legislation that made texting and driving a misdemeanor, punishable of up to $175 in fines or up to a year in jail. 32 states plus DC prohibit all drivers from using handheld cell phones and prohibit all drivers from text messaging. As you should know, California is in that umbrella. California is one of the strictest states on texting and driving in the lower 48. This is has come about as a result of an attempt to curb the demographics that are coming out of children who are beginning to believe that texting and driving is okay, that distracted driving is actually all right and safe. And that's become a huge problem that must be curbed immediately. Of the 48% of the 12 to 17-year-olds surveyed have been in the car while driving, um, have been in the car while the driver was texting, or been in the car while their parents were talking on a cell phone. 15% of young drivers have seen their parents text while driving. And 27% of adults will admit to sending or receiving a text while driving. These numbers should be startling. 77% of young adults are very or somewhat confident that they can safely text while driving. 55% of the teens surveyed believe that it is safe to text while driving, and that is it's easy for them to do it. That's a startling number because if you actually go into deeper into the statistics, teens who text while they're driving spend approximately 10% of their time driving outside of the lane that they should be in. That causes a huge hazard, especially for unexperienced drivers whose reactions times may be a little bit lower due to the inexperience. That being said, as a conclusion, I just want everyone to know it's better to be safe than sorry. These demographics, if they don't directly affect you, they can directly affect someone around you, or they can affect a family member, a friend, a colleague, someone at work, and you never know when these hazards can present themselves. So it's best for everyone to stay on the same page and just not text and drive. Stay safe, and the text can wait. Because when it comes down to it, there's always an opportunity to pull over. There's always an opportunity to stop at the next park or stop at the next light. But once you get hit and you're getting transported and you don't know whether you're going to be all right, it's going to be too late to ask yourself if that text was important enough. I'd like to thank everyone for their time. Make sure you stay safe out there. Thank you very much.